for joining us for the final design and construction kickoff meeting for the comprehensive renovation of Orange Technical College Orlando, located downtown. The project is expected to be complete in 2023. A few housekeeping notes about how this meeting will work. Attendees are automatically muted with cameras off. Please use the Q&A tool to ask questions. You can ask questions using the Q&A at any time during the meeting, but we may not get to address your question until the Q&A portion at the end after the presentation. The chat is available as a backup, but please direct any questions for the panel to Q&A. Chad, could you advance the slide? Okay. The video icons that you see are panelists who are here and available to answer questions today. I will be introducing them shortly. If you have any technical issues today, you can reach WebEx support at 1-866-229-3239 and then choose options 2 and then 1. I will also enter this information into the chat in case you need it. This meeting is being recorded and will be posted on the OCPS Facilities Communications YouTube page, as well as sent out as a link. The presentation slides are posted at facilities.ocps.net, and they're also posted on school board member Vicki Elaine Felder's page at www.ocps.net under school board. Today, we're going to cover the final design and the construction plans for the comprehensive renovation of Orange Technical College Orlando. But before we get started, let's turn to our new District 5 board member, Vicki Elaine Felder, for welcome remarks.
Hello, good evening. How is everyone? Thank you so much for coming. I'm very excited about this project. I know it was far in the workings before I even made a decision to run, of course, and then winning. But I'm so grateful that I am included on your final plans for this wonderful, innovative project for Orlando Technical. And I'm so glad that we do have community input. They're here. They can listen in on what some of the wonderful things that we're doing with this this new project. And I'm so happy and welcome everyone. And I pray that all will be well for you. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Board Member Felder. So I have a list of people who are here to help today with the meeting. So as you just saw, your new board member, Vicki Elaine Felder, is here. She's hosting the meeting. The Associate Superintendent for Career and Technical Education, Melanie Stefanowicz, is here. Director Andrew Jenkins from actual OTC Orlando is here. From the project team, we have from the architectural firm Harvard Jolly, we have Jack Williams and Chad Jones. The construction manager for this project is Gil Bain, and we have Shane Burnsett here from Gil Bain Building Company. From our OCPS facilities team, we have Mo Arthur, the design manager, Jess Malambert, the facilities director over construction planning. From our planning department, we have Faz Ali, senior facilities director, and Kathy Sullivan, senior facilities manager. From our project management team, we have Rob Stagliano, and he's the one who is essentially the go-between between OCPS and the architect and the construction manager. And we're also expecting some OCPS police to be here. I'm not sure if it's going to be Randy Durkee or Norm Emval, but one of them will hopefully be along. From OCPS Transportation, Adam Zubritsky is here. From Fire Health and Safety, we have Richard Kirkham and Davania Burns. And if I've missed anybody, I will catch them later. But with that, I'm going to turn things over to Associate Superintendent Stefanowicz. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. It's my honor to be here. As you may know, Orange Technical College has over 85 years of experience in providing workforce development and career and technical education training that supports our community in entering high-skill, high-wage careers. We are an integral part of the fabric of Orlando and Orange County, and we significantly support the economic development efforts of the region. As part of Vision 2025, we are transforming our campuses through the facilities redesign and reconstruction into state-of-the-art learning facilities following an institutional model. In a moment, Mr. Jones is going to share more about that with you, but the Orlando campus will be focused on the health and medical sciences and will offer adult education programs. Mr. Jones?
Thank you. Thank you. I just want to first start by saying how excited I am to be here tonight to share the project with you. I'm very excited to have been able to work on the project, and we look forward to having a good project moving forward. As Melanie was stating, there has been a shift. There will be a shift in focus for Vision 2025, which will shift the programs to various campuses. For this particular project, the Orlando campus, there will be a shift towards health science. Now, some of the programs are already in the building, as we will show. I will show you in a couple of minutes, and some will come from other campuses. As we begin that transformation. Just to place you on the site, give you a feel of what the building is and what it's going to be. First, we have downtown Orlando is where the building is located, adjacent to the Ronald Blocker Education Leadership Center and adjacent to I-4. As we look at a 3D aerial of the existing building, keep in mind this is an existing building that will undergo an extensive interior renovation. So as you see now, the site will remain mostly the same. Most of the scope of work that we will have will be in the interior of the building. As I mentioned, the main purpose of this project is to transform the look and feel of the building. Now, currently, there are some health science programs within the building, but there are also other other programs as well. This transformation will not only transform the look and feel, but it will also upgrade the facility to be specific to health science. There's some other items that we're doing as well, including code compliance and ADA compliance, as well as a roof replacement, as well as campus branding. As I mentioned, there are some programs, and as I show you the floor plan, we'll see which programs and where they're located. But there are some programs that are currently on the project, and then there's some programs like medical assistant, which is one of OTC's larger programs that is moving into the building. For the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the floor plans. Right now, I'm showing you the ground floor plan or the street level as it currently exists. And what we're doing, particularly on this particular floor, there are a lot of administrative spaces, as you see in yellow. There's also the dental program that is also on this level. So for the transformation for this particular floor, we're revising the location of the main entry. We're going back to the ceremonial front entry, as you see with a larger red arrow, and maintaining the secondary entry for faculty and admin. But you also notice that a lot of the admin functions will remain on this floor, as well as the dental program. What we've also added on this particular floor plan is a multi-purpose room, like you see at the top of the page. As we shift down to the first floor, which is the basement level, one thing that you'll quickly notice is that there are no existing programs that will remain on this floor. So when the floor transforms, there will be a shift to more of the administrative functions of the health science programs. And so this is where you see some of the smaller programs who have similar identities, like health unit coordinator and medical coder biller. As we move to the third floor, the green spaces will represent simulation environments or shared classrooms amongst programs. And this will be, we believe, the key to the success of this project. And now, so what you see in the middle of the floor plan is a large green area. This is where we are intending for a hospital simulation area to be. So this will be an area where all the buildings within, all the programs within the building will be able to share with a simulated hospital environment and use their synergy to educate the students. Also located on this floor are the pharmacy and surgical tech programs, and their lab spaces fit well into that hospital environment that I mentioned earlier. As we move to the fourth floor, you'll notice that there are not many programs on this floor that will remain. And as a result, this floor will transform to two of the bigger programs within OTC, and that's patient care assisting and practical nursing. And then finally, the fifth floor, there are some programs here. Here's your largest contingent of programs that will remain in the building, as you see here. But under the transformation, this entire floor will be dedicated to medical assisting, which will be the biggest program within this building.
Thanks, Chad. This is Shane Burnstead with Gilbane Building Company. We're very excited to be part of the team for this project, and fortunate to have the ability to work with Harvard Jolly in the district on this project. We've done a number of projects for OCPS over the years, and a lot of those include projects on active and occupied campuses. So I want to talk about what to expect during construction. Communication and safety is critical for us on these active and occupied campuses. And one of the first things that we will do is coordinate construction and educational activities to ensure that there's no disruption. We want to make sure that we minimize noise and dust. So again, we're not impacting the environment and the day-to-day for students in the educational facilities. We'll set up secure barriers between construction and active education space. We'll have substantial construction signage, wayfinding signage, so that there's no discrepancy or question about where construction starts and education starts as well. Our staff will have background checks on construction trade workers, ensuring that safety of the staff, students and faculty is paramount every day. And for our deliveries, we'll coordinate and make sure that deliveries are scheduled to avoid peak traffic, and use alternative routes for deliveries so that we don't interfere with the coming and going of the daily operations. Chad, you can move to the next slide. So with all that said, I'll walk you through some of our phasing plans. These are proposed plans. These can change as project conditions change, but this will serve the basis of our construction plan. This is the phase 1 site plan. This will show what we intend to do from day one when we begin to mobilize. You'll see that on the north side of the campus along Concord Street, we intend to set up a construction area where we have dumpsters, some on-site storage for our trades, material laid out, and we will have that fenced in and secured from the public. Along the east side, along Huey Avenue, you'll see we've set up some additional material delivery and storage, as well as employee parking that we'll need for our trades to access. That access will be along the north to keep construction workers out of the public area, minimizing any of that impact as well. We will have a need for material hoist and man lift in the 2 phases. We've identified that here, one for phase 1 and a separate one for phase 2. As you can see, the project is set up in 3 phases. Phase 1 being on the south side of the building, phase 2 being on the north side of the building, and then a small phase 3 on the east side of the building that you see in pink, and that will allow activities and programs to continue throughout the first 2 phases. We'll move those activities out during phase 3, and we will finalize the project and wrap up. So Chad, as you click the slide, you'll see phase 2. Again, much of what I discussed on the previous slide. The area to the south, phase 1, is complete. Students have now moved in there and are occupying that facility. We're working in the green phase, the green section of phase 2. Phase 3 is still a temporary educational space. Move to the next slide. And this is the final interior phase of the building. So phase 1 and 2 are now complete, fully occupied, and educational activities are ongoing. We're finishing up the renovation of the small phase in pink. Move to the next slide. In addition to the interior renovations, we've got a full roof replacement as part of the project. We've broken that up into 3 different areas identified here. Activity will go at the beginning of phase 1 and run simultaneously with phase 1. Next slide. The final slide here is our phased paving plan. We've got a phase 1 plan in green and a final phasing plan identified in pink. The reason for that is due to necessity and need for different parking throughout the construction phases. Next slide.
Now I will show you some proposed spaces. These are existing spaces that we've done for previous projects, but the look and feel of them should be the same for this project. On the left, you'll see a CPR simulation room, which we will have a dedicated classroom for in the building. On the right, you'll see a control room that is overlooking a simulation hospital room. And so there will be several of these throughout that 3rd floor, like as I mentioned to you previously. In these control rooms, the students will be doing their lesson within the simulation space and will be overlooked by faculty or other students in these control rooms. On the left, you'll see another version of a control room, and this is with simulation rooms that are adjacent to each other. And then on the right is the hospital simulation environment that I mentioned that we are attempting to replicate on that 3rd floor. On the left, you see a simulation operating room, which we will have a few within the space. And then finally, on the right, you'll see medical skills lab type stations. We have several of these skills labs for not only for medical assisting, but for practical nursing, patient care, and other programs in the building.
So here you see our proposed construction schedule. We're currently in the bidding phase of the project. We anticipate that we will receive a construction notice to proceed in May. Phase 1 substantial completion is scheduled for March 22nd, 2022. Phase 2 substantial completion is targeted for January 6th, 2023. And phase 3 substantial completion, which completes the entire project, is scheduled for June 1st, 2023.
Okay, thank you very much. So if you could advance to the next slide, Chad, I want to let people know how they can ask questions. So here are the instructions for how to ask questions. You should have a Q&A arrow or tab. If you can't see it, you can go to the button with the 3 dots and select Q&A, and then you'll be able to type questions in there. If for some reason you can't find your Q&A and you can only find the chat, you can go ahead and put questions in there. I can certainly follow the chat also. There are a few more people who I'd like to introduce. Rory Salenbean, the Senior Facilities Executive Director, is on the call. As is Alan Lynch, who's the OTC Orlando Program Director, And lastly, Tom Van de Kieft of Harvard Jolly, the architects, is also here as well. I'm not seeing any questions at this point. Board Member Felder, is there anything that you'd like the team to talk about that we didn't talk about, or any questions you might have about the project that might?
I do. First of all, I want to commend them on, I mean, I hate to say I've been in hospitals a lot, but I've visited people, and I was just taken back when I saw, he said it was an assimilated hospital room. You know, I'm excited because so many of our students, you know, they can get firsthand training at Orlando Technical School. And I want so much for students, not only in District 5, but across the county, to recognize and realize the educational opportunity and training they can have in this school. And I mean, it looks just like a real hospital room and everything. And I'm just so impressed with what it looks like. And I'm hoping and praying that students will really take advantage that they have expert teachers already in place that can provide the students with the type of learning that they need so they can go out and become productive citizens. You know, I am a vocational technical person because my dad owned a dry cleaning business on Paramore, and that's what sent me to college, along with my mom's job as a high school guidance counselor and math teacher at Jones High. So I like what I see. And I guess, so what is enrollment? I mean, are children, young people, not just children, but people coming in? Are they, you have a large enrollment? I guess I could find it out, but do you?
We do have a very stable enrollment of adult education students and our post-secondary students. I think we're running right now around 800, and that's in the current situation with the pandemic.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's good. I'm just, it's so beautiful. Thank you for, you know, allowing me to see it. I'm so excited about what you're doing, and I'm just so glad that students are taking advantage of it. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Associate Superintendent Stefanowicz, is there anything you wanted to add?
I think the design is absolutely magnificent for the programs that we'll be offering there. It will be truly the most state-of-the-art campus in the area,
Yes,
providing high need, high skill, high wage opportunities for our students. I'm very impressed with it.
Excellent. I'm going to go ahead and put my email address in the chat so that if anyone has a question that they'd like to ask later. Oh, we do have a question. Can you please share the enrollment recruitment flyer? That's wonderful. I will get it and I will share it out with everybody who attended this event so that you can all share it. That sounds terrific. So absolutely, we can definitely get that out to everybody on the call. Okay, and so I'm just going to put my email address in the chat. So if anybody has any questions that come up later, this recording will be posted. And so if you have other people who you'd like to see this meeting, and even if they have questions afterwards, we're happy to answer them. There will be another community meeting for this project, either partway through construction or when it's ready to open. So we'll be figuring that as we go out down the road. Okay, and we have another question. What's the minority contractor participation rate or participant rate? Is there, Rob, do you happen to know?
So Lauren, if Rob's not on, I can answer that question. So the goals for this project are 23% MWBE, 10% LDB, and 3% VBE.
And Shane, is that, do you know if how that compares to where you are?
At the moment, Lauren, we don't. As I mentioned, we are currently out for bid. Those bids come in March 5th, but I will tell you that our outreach targets a lot of minority and veteran-owned local contractors in the area. So we're very excited and confident that we'll hit those goals.
Excellent. So as we get further in, we'll be able to see what those numbers end up being. Well, wonderful. If there's anything that any of the panelists wanted to add, or Board Member Felder, if there's anything you wanted to add in closing?
Well, the person that asked that question was one of the questions I was going to ask about the minority participation, because this is a wonderful project, and I would just want to make sure that the opportunity is there. And of course, when there's a situation with bidding, you need to be able to work within the guidelines. But yeah, I am concerned. So you say that it's still open, the bidding is still open, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So there's opportunity for minority contractors to take a part in this, right?
Absolutely. And there's an entire web page on the OCPS website for MWBE and local businesses. And that's
Okay.
really important for our facilities contracting team.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay. And if anyone tunes in and isn't able to find it, feel free to email me and I'll help you find the page. Okay. Well, thank you so much to everybody for participating. Look forward to seeing this project come to fruition. Have a good evening.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Beautiful, beautiful.